Today I'm going to be covering the basics of geometry-block design, as well as discussing some more advanced details to help elevate your block design into something close to feature-worthy. This is just going to be a basic tutorial aimed at new creators. It might not apply to creators that have more experience, but I'm just trying to give the basics to people who want to get to a feature-worthy standard. I'm not suggesting you copy this design block for block, but instead take in the concepts I'm using and apply them to your own level design. So the first thing you're going to want to do is place down the shell of your block, or the structure as it's commonly referred to. You don't want to make it too simple, as that makes it harder to decorate because you have to fill in more space with details, or larger details I should say. It's also much less appealing to look at than a more sort of complicated shape. So what you can do to change this up is incorporate things like slopes, make cutouts or substructures inside the block to make it more unique. So now that you have the shell, you probably want to put some stuff in it. The first thing I usually do is add a base layer of blank blocks to provide a canvas for details to be layered on top. Make sure you add them to a color with blending enabled, and pick a color around the middle of the wheel, so the blending takes effect. Once you've filled in the block completely, with these base blocks, you can start to add details. This can be anything from any of the 6 main tabs. This is where you have a lot of freedom in your block design, as what you decide to place in your block from here on is really up to you. However, there are some concepts you should try and follow with whatever objects you decide to place in your block. The first of these is spacing, where different objects inside the block should be spaced at similar distances. As for more recommendations and opinion-based suggestions, I think that overlapping objects can look messy, not as sleek, so try and keep each object in its own space. Using only specific shapes for the structure and the block can also lead to a more unified design. For example, you might want to use predominantly curvy objects like circles or just curved lines, or objects with only sharp edges, maybe only squares, or square-like objects. To make your block design even more unique, you can add additional dimensions or extra detail to already existing details to help with the complexity. In this example, I put a low opacity square outline around these square block details to complement them and make it stand out. Knowing what blocks go together well takes a lot of practice, so I'd recommend messing around a lot and trying to find combinations that look good to you. You can also study the designs of famous creators, or creators that you like, and try and replicate them, see what they do, and why it works. That's what all of the basics are for block design. I think you should be able to make something pretty close to feature-worthy standard, just off that. So, get creating. Hope this helped out. See you in the next video.